walk behind it now? Got the sensor on there, Andy. All right, yeah. Just put it in reverse so it turns it on. Right, go on. Yeah. So that's the parking sensor working. Just had a belt go on the Merlot, so just put it on now. So just going to check it's not squeaking before we put the guards back on. Fingers out. Start. Yep, that'll work. Put all the lights on. Drive the alternator, so put the alternator on the load. Right, yeah, there we go. Beastie wagon that's just brought the crusher. Fast and the Furious. Well, it's wrapped or painted. It's actually painted on. Someone's got it with a paintbrush, air gun. That light up there, this is the one that's just had the parking sensors fitted. Should look like that one, but as Andy brought it back in the shed, he was trying to squeeze in this gap here, because this tractor was parked further forwards. He didn't realise that there was a slope, so he caught the top of there. And because it rocked over, and he just caught the light, so he was watching his mirrors and he was missing at the bottom by an inch. The top had just rocked over and it broke it. So, a bit of a pain. Get a new light for it though. £7 on eBay, so it's not the end of the world. I'll get some spurs, because I'm sure it won't be the first one. Putting the cover on well. It's a nice fit. Just 2 more to drill. Big long bolts. Chemical resin. Going nowhere. See the glass now. Someone obviously can't read. If you're going to use them, don't lose them. Oh, my socket set. Ratchet missing. Don't know what they do. Just like eat them. Got a load of Christmas lights and a load of nails. I might try and do something on there with some Christmas lights. I don't know if to do the shape of a tractor or a Christmas tree. I'll see which looks like it's going to be the easiest. Possibly a Christmas tree. That's handy. The steps are kind of half a Christmas tree shape, so it should make it easy to put the lights up. Taking shape. Star's a bit iffy. I think it looks good, twinkling. We'll see what it looks like in the dark. Welder's on a mission. The welder's messing about and won't turn on. So we thought there was a phase down in the shed because the lad said the roller shutter door wasn't working. So we checked everywhere, couldn't find anything wrong. Then they realised the roller shutter door wasn't working because it was unplugged, because that's what we had the welder plugged in. So we're now taking the welder to the workshop to test it to see whether it's that. The welder works in the workshop, but we have this adapter lead to change it from 4-pin to 5-pin for this shed. So there must be something wrong with the adapter lead. So I'll take that back now and test it. This stupid things always grab your fingers when you shut them. Like take the skin off the back of your knuckles. Don't know who invented them, but they're a bit stupid. I'm pretty pleased with that. I think it looks quite good. Looks better in real life than on the camera. But it's, I don't know, 15-foot high Christmas tree. Yeah, that big wagon was bringing a crusher, so we'll be using that on Monday. It's been a bit of a storm going on Twitter as well, so if anyone wants to follow on Twitter, I'm AgriContract on Twitter. So there's a bit of a rant about George Monbiot, so this is what I've just put on Twitter now, so I'll add it to this video as well. So to anyone that doesn't know what neonicotinoids are, basically it's an insecticide, and a few years ago a guy in Germany painted some on the back of a bee and it killed a bee. A bit like if I got the toaster out the kitchen over there and threw it in a bath, it'd kill someone whoever was in the bath. But if the toaster lives in the kitchen on the worktop, it's fine, it's not dangerous to anyone. The same as if you put neonicotinoid on a seed and bury it in the soil where bees don't live, it's fine, and it doesn't harm the bees. So that's what we used to do with it. Anyway, someone decided, oh no, they're harmful to bees, we'll ban it. But they're not when used correctly. So as a result of this, it means that the little plants and seedlings, whether it be sugar beet, oilseed rape, when it starts to grow and gets out the ground, aphids can attack it, whereas the neonicotinoid used to inoculate it from that and protect it for the first few weeks of its life. And it meant then that you didn't need to use insecticides when it come up to stop it getting attacked by aphids, which is basically food waste, because you'll sow a crop and then they'll come along and they'll eat it and they'll infect it with diseases, and then it dies. So it was kind of like the COVID kind of immunization for plants. So we lost it because we were in Germany, we were in Europe, and they didn't quite understand it all. And basically, sugar beet farmers have been struggling, and they were looking at trying to get it back when we leave Europe. So there's a little bit of a petition going on about, like, can we have it back? This is how it works. Let's look at the science. Let's not be like we were in the Middle Ages where we used to burn witches. Anyway, it's got a bit out of hand because they're like, keep it low key. Let's just get the science behind it rather than all the emotion that runs riot on social media. Anyway, it's got out now that they were trying to do it in the background. George Monbiot thinks he's a hero because he's like, oh, look at this that farmers have been trying to hide. But he's not telling anyone the facts. So the problem is now everyone's like shit scared of this bloody stuff, when really there's nothing to be scared of, just like there's nothing to be scared of that toaster over there, because I'm not going to throw it in a bath and I'm not going to put neonicotinoids on a bee. Ask a beekeeper what's going on. And because people can't grow oilseed rape and sugar beet now, they're losing pollinating crops. So that means that the bees have got nothing to forage on, so they're actually starving and dying. So since neonicotinoids have gone, the bees have been declining. They've not increased, they've declined. Get the facts right and put that out, George.